Welcome back to another episode of Over the Bar podcast. Sal is out this week. I'm back. Sean and Matt here with you guys this week. Lots of stuff to get into. Obviously, the big one, Liverpool United, this coming Sunday. We also have some UCL stuff to go over as well, and our picks for the coming week, and some fun little stuff to go over too. So let's kick things off. I mean, obviously, Sean, I've been waiting for this, this week for the longest of times, and now it's finally come. Liverpool United Sunday, 11:30. In my opinion, biggest rivalry in sports.
Maybe not in all of sports from the American perspective. I'd say
on a global scale,
the biggest rivalry in English football, in top flight English football.
Absolutely. And it's gonna be one of those ones that could have a lot of goals in it from what we're looking at. A lot of injuries going into this. Thiago Alcantara out for Liverpool. They did just get Curtis Jones back, so that is a boost in their midfield where they were pretty weak this week. Man United, though, maybe without Bruno Fernandes. He is a doubt to go for Sunday after playing pretty well in their comeback win in the Champions League.
So it'd be a sort of load management type of thing, right?
Maybe it doesn't. There's no real specifics as to what he's really going through right now. But obviously, Ale is called him a doubt. But then again, Ale, has done that before in games against Liverpool and the players played. So we'll see what happens there.
I might need a new fantasy captain. That's what you're saying.
Do you have him on your fantasy team?
I haven't updated my fantasy squad in a good couple of weeks. It happens every year because it's a 38-match season.
Do you have the rankings on there? Can you find where you, Sal, and I are?
I was doing so well originally, and yeah.
Out of the three of us, you were in first.
I got to sign back in.
That's how long you've been out of.
When I was yesterday, I told you I was trying to find my Amazon password after probably a good 2 years of not needing it for anything.
Yeah, we finally get the Wi-Fi fixed at the bar, and then all the passwords kind of go along with it. So, yeah, that was a weird week as far as that goes. But anyways,
I had to relog into everything that my Amazon account normally does anyway.
What do you got?
I had 38 points last week. That's not good.
No, that is. Did you have any? Would you have one player play?
I'm 268th in the Wolves Beer Garden group.
There's only 300 and something.
Yeah, there aren't many more than 268. 311.
311. Okay.
One of them has only played 1 week. So, all things consideed, yeah, about 310.
See, keep scrolling up there. See where Sal and I come into play. I'm pretty sure we're not far behind.
Sal is 289.
Okay, so we're both beating Sal.
Sal is how many? I got Tree Fitty.
There's no way I can be ahead of both you guys, right?
Sal's 28 points, but you've got to be ahead of me.
I haven't touched my team since I put it together.
Patrick Endy, 271. Played Alley Cats with him. Shout out Alley Cats. Shout out Pat Endy. Haven't seen him in years. Yeah, you're at least top 250.
My team is
unless I missed you.
Feliz Nabilad. That is the team name, play off of Naby Keita. Had a good goal this week, honestly. Did you see that goal?
I did.
That was a nice little volley. I mean, that's the only thing he did right in the game, but that was a nice little goal there.
To me, from a Chelsea fan perspective,
you can't possibly be in the hundreds.
He reminds me of N'Golo Kante when he scores goals. Like, no one expects him to, so the whole team just swarms him.
It's an absolute worldie every time.
Yeah, it's always impressive.
Yeah, he's got 2 goals this year, both of them volleys from outside the 16-yard or the 18-yard box.
So your team's too good to track down.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to brag, but.
Yeah, Bruno. Oh, yeah, I've got Lukaku. I've got Harry Kane, who doesn't score goals this year.
Oh, yeah.
Team is stacked.
If only you had Mo Salah like I do. It's the current best player in the world, hottest player in the world, best form out of any player in the world. But back to the United-Liverpool game. If there's going to be one player that makes a difference in this game, who do you think it's going to be? For each team. You can go for each team.
Well, the difference maker for United seems to always be Ronaldo in one way or another. If it's a good or bad, he's kind of the X factor. He has to play because he's come out and told Ali, I'll tell you when I'm not fit. Otherwise, I'm out there all the time. He's Coach Cristiano.
Yeah.
Probably better than Coach Kepa. but he doesn't need to be out there all the time.
His name.
he was a player they brought in and didn't need someone in that position.
Yeah.
He's great. He's world class, but you didn't need him, and now he is a distraction at times when he probably doesn't need to get himself involved every single touch.
You can tell he's frustrated. You can tell he's frustrated with a lot of the way stuff's going. Even in their win against Atalanta the other day, I mean, he looked frustrated for the majority of the match, and maybe it wasn't because he's scoring, not getting involved, not getting shots on target, whatever the hell it may be. I mean, he looks overly frustrated, more so than I saw him at Juve, more so than I saw him at Real Madrid. But maybe it's because he wants to score for United and knows what's going on as far as, you know, them not really getting out of the group stage the last couple of years. So
and he's always been an attention whore.
Oh, he is. He
knows that the clock
could have just ended with whore.
The sands of the hourglass are running out.
So you got Ronaldo for United, for Liverpool. Biggest guy that's going to make a difference for them in order to get them a W.
A W, it's going to have to be whoever's filling in that midfield. Whoever is in there to try and limit Pogba. I mean, Fred gets a lot of shit, but Fred still does a lot of the dirty work.
Boy, I hope they play Fred this weekend.
In that United midfield.
You know, out of all the midfielders, if Bruno cannot go, I hope to God it is Fred, because I feel like Fred would get eaten up by Fabinho.
Like, it's too easy to just say that Virgil and Alisson are going to be the main keys for them, because they are going to face pressure. Yeah. You do have plenty of firepower over at United. It's going to be tough to win. I'm rooting for a draw.
Of course. I mean, as a Chelsea fan, you kind of have to.
I'm selfish.
I honestly, as far as United goes, they need to be able to stay on the attack and not so much play defense. Because if they're sitting back, and not so much sitting back, but if they're playing defense or on the counter, Liverpool's going to score 2, 3, 4, 5 goals like they did in the last match. They beat them 4-2. And the majority of the goals were 3 of the goals were counters. So, I mean, that's something that they have to, you know, learn on and improve on in order to beat this Liverpool side.
Yeah, if this match gets lopsided, that's the direction
it's going to go. Because that's, I mean, the way Mo Salah's playing right now, he's going to score. You know he's going to score. That's what he does right now. I don't know. There's no way around it. The guy's the best, hottest player in the world right now, bar none.
I like that, hottest.
He's the hottest.
He's in top form.
Most informed player. The only guy that even comes close is Karim Benzema, and he plays Shakhtar Donetsk and freaking teams in the bottom of La Liga. So, I mean, he's not playing the top of the crop as Mo Salah is when he scores against, you know, Man City in that fashion. I mean, that's something different.
Mo Salah wouldn't struggle against FC Sheriff.
No, he wouldn't. No.
No disrespect to the leaders of Group D.
Yes. I call him the Danny Estradas. You know, whatever his name is, the guy that was in Chips. Is that his name?
Eric Estrada,
same thing.
Punch.
Who the hell's Danny? Yeah, I come up with that. Anyways, as far as Liverpool goes, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's the midfield. They control the midfield, they win this game, and I think they win it handily. If the midfield, who I think it's going to be, I don't know if Curtis Jones starts. I think he comes on later. I think it actually may be Fabinho, Henderson, Keita, which I think
is the strongest three.
Yeah, and with Fab back there in that 6 role, he's going to allow Keita to kind of move up the pitch and let Jordan Henderson kind of be that number 8 that he's more comfortable as. Keita is the guy that will make shit happen going forward if they play him on the same side as Mo Salah, where he's more successful. I like him over there. Meaning Jordan Henderson has to go to his weaker side. The only other guy I could see him throwing in there, and I can't believe I'm saying it because if you told me this last year, I would have said there's no way in hell given the midfield we have going in this year, but James Milner. James Milner could honestly be the guy that steps in there, starts this game, and goes 90 minutes, and you don't even know he's there because he does his job. You know, and that's the one guy I think they throw in there, maybe instead of Naby. If we need a goal late, throw Naby in. Who knows? But I think it's definitely, you hit the nail on the head. It's the midfield. And for United, I mean, I was gonna go with Cristiano, but David De Gea needs to have a fucking game.
Yeah, he does.
Because there's no way in hell that they're not going to keep Liverpool out of the net. It's how many times you're going to keep them out of the net.
Exactly.
They're going to score. They're going to score. The way this is the best Liverpool's offense has looked since that the Champions League winning season. So
looking at it right now, in 8 matches so far, United's conceded 10 goals. Liverpool scored 22.
Yeah, so it's going to be
one team's averaging almost 3 per match, and one team's allowing more than 1 per match. Yeah, they're
gonna score.
They're at least going to get plenty of chances.
You got injuries. You got injuries back there. You got, who knows? Maguire, I mean, the guy's a refrigerator back there. If you saw him against Leicester, I mean.
He's no slouch, but yeah.
I'd rather play without a center back if I knew he was going to give up goals like that. Varane is injured. He's most likely out. So you're looking at Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly to kind of shore up the ship back there. Maybe they play a back 3.
Lindelof's in my fantasy squad last year.
Last year? So you better not have him this year.
Yeah, I didn't do well last year. Wasn't his fault. Wasn't all his fault.
I was awful last year in fantasy. I played like shit, but
I kick in a high gear around February.
We'll get to our picks for that one. I want to touch on a weird subject here that I saw this morning. Paul Pogba is going to be wearing a vegan boots for the game. What that means, I don't know if technically if you can.
I mean, it's not
can
like
you eat
not
them?
Real leather.
Is there what do they just take it? Was there egg in boots? Like
cruelty-free boot.
I don't understand what the hell it goes. I thought it was rubber. Like then again, I have no idea. But
because it's not like it's all made from recycled. A lot of clubs have done that. They've been wearing kits made from 100% recycled.
If they
materials.
play the match, I hoped at the end of the game, how they do the jersey swap. I hope he does a boot swap, and I hope one of the Liverpool players eat the boots.
No, he won't do that. He'll auction them off, and then it'll go to a good cause.
Here
in the
comes
end,
the
I'm sure.
cleft James Milner with a Paul Pogba boot in his mouth. I think that's kind of weird, but
that'd be the most exotic thing James Milner's done in years.
Is that the dumbest equipment that you've ever like? You think of equipment like boots and chingars and stuff like that. Like, is that the dumbest piece of equipment that you've seen on a soccer pitch?
I don't even know if it's the dumbest piece of equipment in that squad with Ronaldo's shin pads.
Ronaldo's shin pads. That's a good one.
It's a collage of it. If everybody hasn't seen this, it's pictures.
It's an homage to himself.
6. Yeah, they're all his own face. I'm sure there's one shirtless pic of himself on there too. Just self-indulgent.
I mean, if I looked like that, I'd probably have pictures of myself up too, though.
If I looked like that, I'd want someone to punch me in the face.
I mean, I'm not talking face. I'm talking
still.
like the six-pack, the washboard abs and shit like that. Like,
once upon a time, we all looked like that.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
Photoshop was a thing.
He is, 36?
36.
Yeah, I got 6 years to get to that point.
We'll get there. It's part of the job here. We'll get in shape, and
if I had a little bit of a pay raise, I could spend more time at the gym.
Looking at you, Sam.
I could look like Ronaldo. Passing it off. Put in a good word for me.
Champions League was this weekend. A lot of big surprises. Let's go over your top surprise through 3 match weeks and your worst surprise in 3 match weeks.
My favorite surprise, hands down, is FC Sheriff. I know I did. I gave a little bit of a dig there, but yeah, now I'm heaping all the praise on it.
Hell yeah.
It was the group of death. I mean, Liverpool's group also.
True.
Was that C or a B and D?
As games go on, that is becoming the group of death.
Yeah, because Sheriff, they've never played in the competition before whatsoever. They're from Moldova, not a footballing
Couldn't even find that on the
powerhouse.
map. Couldn't even find that on the map.
You could give me 100 guesses, and I probably wouldn't get it. I don't know if there are 100 countries in Europe. I still might not get it.
I'd be making up countries.
Like, they just suffered their first defeat. No, they won their first 2 matches against Shakhtar Donetsk and Real Madrid. 2-1 in Madrid.
What was their last result against Inter?
They lost 3-1 at
3-1.
Yeah, in Milan. So still, they lead the group. They're level on points with Real, but with the head-to-head goal difference at 2-1 and 2 massive road goals.
Yeah.
Not like Real Madrid can't bag 4 when they go to Moldova.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the loudest atmosphere they've ever played in. I can only imagine that stadium seats 4 figures.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I think, if you can imagine Sheriff somehow getting to that, if they get one more win, they're in, right?
I mean, they're only 2 points ahead of Inter. That's going to be the tough part. They need a result against
either Inter or Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think their better bet would even be, they're going to have to beat
They're
Inter
going to have to
Milan.
at least get a draw in one of those two games.
If they could reclaim, if they win 2-0 at home against Inter Milan, which again, it's FC Sheriff. Their backs are up against the wall every time they go out in this competition. Yeah,
they're playing above their potential, and they're doing great. Yeah. But I think you're right.
Results have to happen. A 2-0 home win, they get that tie break back.
Yeah.
Over top of Inter, and then all you have to do is
what a cool little story that is.
Because then, like you said, I think that's their next match.
Now
in Champions League is against Inter Milan.
Let me hit you with this question: say they get through.
It is.
Say they get through to the knockouts. Are they the team you're looking forward to playing, or are they the team you kind of want to avoid with how hot they are? You
totally looking forward to playing.
Yeah. That's the team you want to draw, if anything. You don't really want to draw. I mean, at the moment,
it would be a chance I'm willing to take.
Yeah. And your biggest, I guess, failure, so far
from a baseball standpoint, Braves have been pretty hot this last week and a half. Dodgers won 106 games, almost 20 more games than the Braves during the regular season. Mm-hmm. As an Astros fan, if they win one of these next two, potentially two, against Boston, I'd still rather face the team that, over a larger sample size hasn't gotten it done to that point. Yeah, because the one team is still an absolute powerhouse. Mm-hmm. And in the knockout stage of the Champions League, pretty much any team in that pot two is still going to be
a pretty good team.
Yeah, massive club.
No matter who they are.
Right now, if the season of the competition ended today, Man City in pot two, Dortmund, Real Madrid, Chelsea. It's not going to be easy for any of the other clubs in pot one.
It's not.
I mean, some of those, you got Salzburg at one. Again, Sheriff currently halfway through. Ajax playing well. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, look at Leipzig. That's my bad surprise at this point. I think they caught a tough draw, City and PSG in that group, but they lost to Club Brugge.
Yeah.
Bruges, they've looked good
pretty well.
But Leipzig's got to do more than that.
Yeah.
They have to. And they haven't been playing well domestically either. Mm-hmm. They are struggling. Yeah. Put it lightly.
I would say that group, I think, presents the biggest confusion because I don't know necessarily if we're seeing the best of those teams in that group. Maybe outside of – I wouldn't even say with PSG because they did have a draw against Club Brugge. So I don't know if that's really a good scale to take a good look at those teams. Top to bottom there, I don't think Man City, played as well as they did against PSG. I don't think they played that great. I think PSG has played great against Man City. But then again, you look at RB Leipzig – I think they're a better team than they're showing us in that group in the Bundesliga. I think they're a little bit better. Jesse Marsch, the U.S. guy over there, I think so far doing a pretty good job, except for Champions League right now. That's a tough one, though. That's a tough one.
And it's all still early.
It is. They can still make it. They get 3 wins. They're in.
They beat Bruges, and then all of a sudden they only need a result against City or PSG, and they at least qualify for Europa knockout.
Yeah, at least. And they deserve that. It is a pretty good team. My big surprise so far, and I know this is going to sound homerish, but the fact that Liverpool have 9 points out of that group,
I'm okay with it.
I think that's surprising, at least to me, considering their away record in the Champions League group stages in the last 4 or 5 years. They haven't been that great. When they go to Italy, they've lost pretty much all their games. When they go to Spain, they lost most recently to Real Madrid last year.
They have no easy opponents this year either.
None. So they have to play. They have to play all their. It has to be a full squad, full team effort to get all those wins. The fact they won the first 3 games surprises the hell out of me.
They scored 11.
11 and conceded, in my estimation, just 5. Right? 5. So I think that's something that I'm glad that they're scoring. The concessions of the goals have been stupid. If you look at the AC Milan game, 2 goals in 4 minutes, and then look at the Madrid game, 2 goals in the span of 10 minutes. both by Antoine Griezmann, both defensive errors inside the 18-yard box. So
it's a fun game from my perspective.
It was a fun game. It was a fun game in general. I don't necessarily think that group has lived up to what their expectation is yet as far as where they're going to battle, but that's going to come down to the last game day as to who gets through, whether it's going to be Porto or for the hell of it, I would not be surprised if AC Milan gets through still. I think they've played pretty good football so far. Even though they're in last place, sitting on 0.
They're only 4 points back a second.
4 points back a second. I mean, that's not something to really fret about at this point. 3 games, you win 2 of those, you're through. You win 2 of those, you're through.
Yeah.
And that's given, Liverpool do have to help you out a little bit, and they can. So I think Liverpool's the big surprise for me. I even as a fan, did not see them doing as well. If I was to pick another team, though, that surprised the hell out of me right now, Ajax.
Yep. We're talking about it before we started.
Absolute studs right now. They are flying up and down the pitch, scoring a crap ton of goals. They're the other team that kind of surprises me. If anybody's kind of letting me down so far right now, I was thinking about the RB Leipzig, and I just didn't think it was fair because the group they're in. If anyone's letting me down right now, it's probably United. I mean, yes, they sit top of the group, but my God, you have the easiest group in the Champions League, and you already lost to the team that's bottom. You should have probably lost to the team that's second.
Yeah, they're 3 points above bottom of the group.
You needed a last-second winner to beat Villarreal, who's in third. So I am just shocked that with that team that they've assembled, with that firepower they have up front, you can't give anything better than what that is right now. And are they sitting 1 or 2 points ahead?
2 points up on Atalanta and Villarreal, but they have the second best goal differential.
It shouldn't be that.
It shouldn't be tight like that.
It shouldn't be tight like that. They should be dominating that group. They should have 3 out of 3 wins, without a doubt. The fact that they had to come back in 2 of those and they lost the other one on a last-second goal to a team that honestly they shouldn't even have probably been in the Champions League. That's the biggest, I guess, surprise as far as disappointments goes, I guess, for me.
Yeah, because it's not as, another one that's a disappointment for sure, but we've talked about them in the past. Mm-hmm. Barcelona, it's not surprising that they're struggling right now. They were a mess off the pitch.
Yeah.
All summer up to this point. It seems like they might have a little bit of stability. They've come out and say that they're sticking by Koeman.
Yeah, and think of it this way, Sean. Who had one of the best windows this summer? Manchester United. Getting Jadon Sancho, getting Rafael Varane. I mean, they signed a couple new contracts. Getting Ronaldo.
They got what, Ronaldo on a free?
I think it was like 20 mil, if that. It's technically almost a free.
For a player of his caliber.
Yeah.
And then Varane was a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Sancho, I think his price came down from what it was last year. Just he wasn't replicating the same numbers.
Could have been 90 million pounds last year. So I mean, yeah, they have one of the better windows. Sancho hasn't done squat. Honestly, it looks like one of the worst signings of the summer so far.
But part of that fee they pay because he's young, he's got potential.
True. Yeah, he's only 20, 22 years old, 21.
I'll never be upset if United, has issues though.
Me neither. They deserve it. So yeah, that's my biggest surprise. I know you had something you wanted to ask me.
Yeah, of the, thinking not just limited to Champions League, because if you're doing a European club power ranking, you've got clubs like Napoli. Mm-hmm. I don't think they've even conceded yet. They
looked good yesterday
in Europe. Yeah, they're playing well. They're not in the easiest group either. They've got Leicester in there. I'm pretty sure they've conceded, but they're top. Or at least the other day they were top of Serie A.
Yeah.
The level of competition they're at, they wouldn't crack necessarily the top 5 of the power rankings. Mm-hmm. But say you have a top 5, how many English teams are in your top 5?
3. Easily 3. And could that have changed? Yes, this week. But I give the benefit of the doubt to the team that I have in there. So if I go 5-1, Chelsea's my 5th one. Haven't played very well this last 2-3 weeks. I don't think they have. They should have lost to Brentford. Should have easily lost that game.
No, they shouldn't.
I think they should have lost that game. I thought Brentford outplayed them.
They were in control for a while.
They were in control for a little bit.
Brentford did dominate that last 20 minutes.
Easily. I mean, 13 shots.
It's like a Mendy masterclass to keep them in that.
One man literally saved you 3 points.
He saved the one with literally the side of his face.
Yeah. So I thought that was a great game for him, but I don't think Chelsea have looked very, very good the last couple of matches. I don't think they've, especially with Lukaku not being able to get on the score sheet, I think is a problem right now. They solve that, they're fine. They'll move up the list. So I've got Chelsea at 5.
Are your 2 non-English clubs PSG and Bayern?
Yes, and the next one is Bayern.
Nailed it.
If Bayern played in a league that actually had teams in it, they'd probably be higher on the list. The fact that they score 5 at the break against Bayern Leverkusen, who's in the Europa League, but still a damn good team.
But of that too, they scored 4 goals or maybe 5 goals in less than a 10-minute span. They are prone to disappear. They get streaky. They can rain goals down. I think the thing with Nagelsmann though, and this is part of his game, is they're gonna score a crap ton of goals. They're gonna score a crap ton of goals. It's a matter of how many times can you outscore your opponent every week, because that's what it's gonna be with him. Defense is shaky as it's been for Bayern in years. And that's not really saying much. So, I mean, you don't really expect. Look what they got in their back line. Nicolas Sula, you got the American back there, Richards, who's not really getting game time. You got Pavard. You got no Alba. He's gone. He's at Real Madrid. You've got Davies back there. I mean, they're Fonzie. Yeah, they're not really built up defensively. Did you see the clip of Fonzie when he pulled Leo Messi in his Ultimate Team pack?
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, go to what is this, Instagram or something like that?
He fanboyed out real big.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So I got Bayern 4th. I got Man City 3rd. I think Man City, the loss to PSG and then the draw to Liverpool, where I thought Liverpool kind of dominated for certain aspects of the game, really kind of opened them up. Kind of different to see Man City in a light like that, the way they play those 2 games. Mm. So I put them 3rd for right now. Most likely they'll probably end up 1 by the end of the year.
PSG are number 2.
Liverpool's number 2. Liverpool, I have number 2 right now. They're winning everything. They have yet to lose a game this year. I think they're one of the few teams in Europe that have yet to lose a game. Knock on wood. I just don't think there's a weakness right now that is blaring. Like last year was, center back. We lost at this point last year. We had no Joel Matip, no Virgil van Dijk, and we were playing a midfielder at center back. And that's not given the injury we would have in 3 weeks' time to Joe Gomez. So I think the holes in this team right now are the smallest that they've been in a while. I think this is one of the strongest teams I've seen Liverpool have since they won the Premier League. So I would definitely give them number 2. And then PSG number 1. I think they're kind of getting things clicking. I think I think Messi has shown
too much star power.
I'm still Messi, Yeah, too much star power. They will come through. They will look themselves in the next few months and kind of get on a winning streak that I don't think anybody can really beat them. So I still have PSG number 1 for right now.
So just for clarification, you have the defending champions of Europe and current top of the Premier League table, Chelsea.
Yes.
5th best in the power rankings.
I do.
All right.
I do. What are yours?
Right now.
From 5 to 1.
I also have PSG 1. Like everything you said.
Yeah. PSG.
They were a dangerous team before this summer that they had.
Yeah.
Adding Donnarumma, Hakimi, Wijnaldum, who hasn't even really played much at all.
He's kind of actually been awful at certain times.
Yeah, bringing in Leo Messi to go with Neymar and Mbappe. Just too many. Sergio Ramos. Mm-hmm. Just literally too many names to fail. And then I have Chelsea at number 2.
Chelsea at 2.
They've only conceded 1 goal in Champions League group stage, and it was not even 15 seconds into the second half against Juve.
Chiesa?
Yep. It was a quick strike. They planned it out in the locker. Had to be planned out in the locker room. Same thing. Liverpool, they conceded 1 goal on a handball on the line, red card, played the entire second half. Yeah. didn't concede a goal. So to me, they're second best in Europe. 3, I have Liverpool. 4 and 5 are where I get a little tough. 4, I have Bayern. 5 is where I have City.
Wow, okay. Why City so low?
I think part of it is just my bias. I don't want to put them higher. They did finally just beat Chelsea, so they do deserve more as far as a power ranking is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep going back to they lost 3 matches. Pep lost 3 matches to Tuchel when he first took over at Chelsea.
Do you think that Man City make a move to get somebody this January transfer window?
I'm sure they will.
To get a striker.
I think it's got to be a striker.
It's got to be a striker, right? I mean,
the only, I'd say, true striker that they have there is Gabriel Jesus, and they play him on the wing more often.
And Ferran Torres now is out. Yeah. Ferran Torres, I mean, who would probably be one of your other, center forward, kind of, right forward, the right wing type guy. He's out now for a considerable amount of time, at least the next month. So who knows what the heck's going on there. So, I mean, I could see that. I would like to see them falter if they falter once in the next couple of weeks, I could see them dropping to a 5 for me. For sure, moving Chelsea up, moving Bayern up. But I gotta see more. I gotta see a little bit more from them. Quickly though, your take on the takeover of Newcastle. They just did get rid of Steve Bruce, so making a move there early. Good for football, bad for football. Your take on that?
I'd say it's good for football. We can finally get Rottenham Hotspur out of the Big Six. They don't belong there. Flash in the pan. Let's get Newcastle. Let's get ownership that actually wants to spend money. Yeah, Chelsea fan. I'm totally okay with.
Yeah, because you guys got the money
rich
too.
Owners coming in. If they care about winning, that's what it's all about to me. The ownership groups that you have at, say, United and Liverpool at times, they care more about their investment than the actual silverware.
Yeah.
When Abramovich bought Chelsea, he's a huge fan of the game. He wanted the glory.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to have more money than he can spend for the rest of his life. And the Saudi ownership group has more money than they can spend in 1,000 lifetimes.
$325 billion.
So if they're going to come in, again, you needed to convince the players to come to Newcastle when City had to take over. It didn't happen overnight. It took a couple of years to start getting enough quality players
this
in.
This one technically happened overnight,
in.
though. This one seems like it could happen overnight.
I mean, they've got deep enough pockets to make it happen.
It seems like they want to go out and spend £100 million, £200 million this January.
And where they sit right now, they kind of need to. They're 19th.
Yeah.
Boy,
I hope they get relegated. I want their road to success be as difficult as possible. I don't like when countries own. I don't think countries should own teams. And I know some people would be like, oh, well, technically it's not a country. It's an ownership group that is funded by it's a freaking country. It's a goddamn country. PSG is owned by a country. Man City's owned by a country. Chelsea technically almost owned by an oligarch. I mean, if anything. So I mean, teams like that. I don't like the way
Putin's not the owner.
I'd rather have it be singular owners, singular ownership groups that basically can fund money into a team, build a team the right way. I think it hurts the game. The same way the Super League would have hurt football, I think this could actually have the same effect. Because this is going to basically make Man City, Newcastle, Man United a big powerhouse. And I'm not including Liverpool in that because I don't know what the heck Fenway Sports Group is going to do. They would need to sell the Liverpool Football Club for us to be successful. If it goes this route where those 3 teams break off and take off, that's where it is. And I think Chelsea would be the next one to follow. So 4. There's 4 there now. So I think it's going to hurt the game. Hopefully, failure after failure after failure is what they have. I hope they get relegated. I hope they also get fined somehow. I hope they lose ownership, whatever it may be, whatever the worst case scenario is for that ownership group, I hope happens.
I kind of hope they hire Super Frank.
Just to see him fail again? I would love that.
I can't remember if it was Dan or Rob I don't think Sal brought it up at first, but we've got a little Chelsea group chat, and we were talking about the odds of, or the possibility of Frank Lampard taking over as Newcastle manager and how we'd feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just, I'd love it for him up front, but just knowing he'd probably be on that same kind of short leash with Newcastle that he was at Chelsea. The amount of money that they're willing to put into this club, they're going to need the results, and they're not going to sit back and wait on a project anymore. So if he takes over and does incredibly well.
But here's what I'm going to say to that.
Then he could be a problem.
He just had the same thing at Chelsea and failed.
Right.
He just had all the money, all the players, all that was given to him. Failed miserably in my estimation.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally put a guy in there mid-season, won the Champions League.
You bring a guy in there who you tell him, we're behind you on this project, bring in a bunch of players, and you expect him to figure it all out in less than 6 months from the time that you bring in all those big, high-priced names. What he did year one, to me, far outweighs the failures in year.
So basically getting them to the Champions League?
Year third half.
I mean, I just don't think I don't think he's a good enough manager.
I don't either.
I
love it for him as a person.
I think if anybody should take that job, and if you really want to go about spending money the right way and kind of taking guys away from other teams, you go get freaking Zinedine Zidane. You give him whatever money he wants. You give him whatever money he wants.
Don't say that.
I don't want to say it out loud.
Don't say it. You put that in the universe already. It's too late.
If there's one thing that they need to do, it's him. Pay him whatever. I mean, they got the money. Pay him whatever the hell he wants. Give him a blank checkbook and say, write the number down. It's yours.
Let's hope nobody in Newcastle listens to Over the Bar.
Yeah, I doubt they will, but I doubt they're probably, listening to some weird podcast. I have no idea.
Don't you say that.
But
Don't you ever say that.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna really make a immediate rise as quickly as possible, that's the guy you go get, and you go get him before Man United do, because I think Man United is the team that he'll probably go for first.
If you're Zidane, do you say no to United because you know Newcastle might come knocking? I would.
In certain situations, yes. I would have to see what their first things first. They need to spend in January. Get me good players. If they get me good players then and they are willing to spend again like $200 million plus in the summer, then I would consider it. And I would need to have at least one world-class player.
And I don't know much about, other than the just financial strength of this ownership group or what they intend to do from the football side. Mm-hmm. Like, who's going to actually make these decisions as far as player recruitment, development?
Yeah,
and spending is the one thing that it doesn't matter who they put in there.
Well, again, money buys.
They can support.
They're going to probably try to buy the best. I mean, think of it this way: if they wanted to, they can go buy Liverpool's director of football operations right now. His contract ends at the end of the year. Why not get him? Michael Edwards literally signed Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, got Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson for £8 million. Went and got Alisson back. I mean, that guy's done it. If you want somebody that's experienced that is being chased by Real Madrid right now, go get him. That's the guy you go get.
If this ownership transition had happened a year ago, would Leo Messi be playing at Newcastle right now?
No. No, I would still say that Man City have a better chance of landing him than Newcastle.
But they didn't land him either.
But the thing is, you bring him in, how much more are they really going to be able to spend? And is he not going to a worse situation than he was already at Bayern or at Barcelona? I don't know. That's a good question. That would be
as to what they could still spend.
Yeah,
they got plenty to blow.
But are they going to spend it on the right players to bring in? I mean, you look at that defense right now. That defense needs a complete overhaul from goalkeeper all the way through.
I'm pretty sure they have more thousands of dollars than I have pennies to my name.
Yeah. Yeah, easily. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that many pennies in my life. That they 300.
Look, I got a lot of pennies to my name.
325 billion pennies is a lot of pennies. It's a lot of pennies.
I'm not struggling, but neither are they.
One last thing. Let's go to our picks for this week. Obviously, we got the big one. We'll get to that.
Big one's Arsenal Aston Villa this afternoon, right?
That is the
Emi Martinez derby.
The Emi Martinez derby.
Back of the Emirates, ready to prove himself.
So yeah, Premier League got some top games this week. Saturday a little bit more, I would say, duller than normal.
Say that again.
But we'll start off with the Arsenal Villa game. Arsenal coming off the loss to or the draw. Excuse me, the draw should have been a loss to Crystal Palace on Monday. Facing off against Villa 3 p.m. later today. What do you like in that one?
I like Villa. I like Villa to make it interesting, at least.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be a scoreless draw. It just doesn't have that feel about it.
This is a Villa team, and I'm not trying to dig a deep hole for them. And I know your father's a big fan, but this is a Villa team that's coming off giving up 3 goals in the second half to Wolves in the loss last week.
Oh man, that was wild.
That was a wild game.
Connor.
Yeah.
Our bar back, Connor, shout out to him. It was his 22nd birthday on Saturday. So he's a student at Union College. A bunch of his boys came in, and a few of them are apparently just Wolverhampton fans. I don't know how it happened. They went down to the casino, placed a few bets. They came in here. Connor's drinking his boot. I don't know why he brought it in the bathroom, but he broke it in the bathroom. He felt horrible. He's a sweet boy.
Still waiting on those boots, Connor. If you're listening,
I think they came in.
Oh no, not the ones he's buying.
Oh no,
he's been buying more.
Is he buying heavy duty boots?
Oh, he better be. They better be able to.
I hope so.
Walking in with them.
But as soon as they went down 2-0, I just any time that any team goes down 2-0 and someone's upset about it, that's the most dangerous lead in football.
It can be.
And it was on Saturday.
To certain teams, it can be a nightmare. So,
one of his buddies was wearing a Kyrie Irving jersey, ripped that right off. So I kind of looked up and like, hey, I'd feel better if you put it back on. Yeah. I get it. Excitement, sure. Happened like 3 minutes ago, though.
Wolves got a good matchup this week. We'll go over that one. Oh, we got the phone ringing. Don't they know it's pretty early? It's pretty early in here. Go ahead, Sean. Pick that up. You want to?
Wolves Beer Garden Schenectady. Can I help you?
Yeah. Let's see what they got. What time are you open? I'm guessing that's what they're going to have.
Oh, you are speaking with Sean right now.
Oh. Somebody's calling for you?
Oh. Well, thank you very much, Greg Clark. I actually brought my own lunch today. You are live on air right now.
Ah, yes. Over the Bar podcast.
Well, no one can hear you. I can only tell everybody what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Matt, you want any lunch?
No, I'm good. Tell him I said what's up. Tell him I said I'll see him in a little bit.
Matt says we'll see you in a little bit. Yeah, swing on over. We're getting down to the wire, so if if they can step on it.
Ask him what is his score prediction for Liverpool United.
Yeah. While we got you, Pastor Greg, huge Liverpool fan. What are your score predictions for United and Liverpool on Sunday?
I'm guessing he's probably going to go with high-scoring affair.
2-1 Liverpool, more realistic. He wants to go 3-2, but
I can see that.
I'd love a 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything, I'd love to see you in a few minutes. It sounds like I'm gonna. Can't wait. I've seen a few, pal.
That was fun. Anyways, just quick little score prediction. Arsenal later today.
Deuces.
Villa. Deuces
2-2 draw.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Villa. Early morning game. I know your favorite time slot. Same with Sal's favorite. 7:30 a.m. On Saturday, Chelsea-Norwich.
No way in hell Sal watches that one. Sal's
no way. Yeah,
he's going to be in Vegas. It's going to be 5:30 a.m.
Yeah,
I think they're 2 hours. They're not
Pacific. No, it's 3.
Is it 3 in Vegas? Yeah, Sal's not watching that.
Sal's not watching. There's no way in hell. 4 a.m. No way.
I feel 2-0.
I like that score. I'm going to go a little bit more though. I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0 Chelsea, I assume.
How long is Lukaku out for?
At least the next 2 matches. Him and Werner both out the next 2.
Okay.
We've seen Kai Havertz play well in that false 9. You're going to get more minutes from Ziyech. You're probably going to see more of Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah. I still think they score enough.
Yeah, they're deep enough to take on Norwich and Southampton.
If there's a hiccup game, I think it's probably their next game. I think that's probably more like it.
I care about Tuesday against Southampton, and then Saturday the 30th at Newcastle.
I think that could be a hiccup game. I think if there's going to be the one that they're looking forward to, it's going to be that one.
If there's a match to get injured in, it was that one against Malmo. Norwich, Southampton, Newcastle, Malmo again, and Burnley, the only opponents we have before Leicester late November.
Yeah, you couldn't have an easier stretch.
Almost a full month from now.
They could honestly rest the rest of until after the international break.
And they really might need it, because it's coming right out of that November international. They've got Leicester away at Leicester, then home against Juve, and home against United in 3 consecutive matches.
Yeah,
3 matches in 9 days,
8 days. So that's pretty good. So I got 3-0, you got 2-0. Everton Watford 10 a.m. Saturday. This one I think is going to be tighter than people think. I'm going to go 3-2 Everton.
I'm thinking 2-1 Everton. I'm there with you on the narrow win. But, yeah, it's not going to be a convincing, comprehensive win.
Yeah. Leeds Wolves, honestly, probably the best game on Saturday. Leeds Wolves, 10 a.m. Probably the game I'm going to watch, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot going on there at that 10. Did Wolves finally figure it out in that last 10 minutes against Villa?
I think they did. And Leeds, I think, have been disappointing this year.
They have. They've been what Sheffield United was last year.
I wouldn't say to that extent, but I would say I know where you're going with that narrative that they've been lackluster after a big year.
And I think a lot of what helped them that first year, Melier was just standing on top of his head half those matches.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's still been very good this year, but he's very young. He's not the biggest name, and it's just part of the development process. You're not going to be that A1 every single match.
I'm gonna go 3-2 in that one as well. Wolves. I'm taking Wolves.
I'll go 2-1 Leeds.
2-1 Leeds. Palace Newcastle. That's probably one of the worst matches. I bet you that's probably going to end up the game of the week now. Because I said that. So I think it's one of the worst matchups this weekend.
That's got the potential for 6 or 7 goals.
It's got the potential for at least 1 red card, too.
Yeah.
Considering
John Joe Shelby's out, I think.
It's true. Maybe he'll pass the baton off. Who knows? I mean, you still got Jamal Lascelles in there. You got
Wilfred Zaha.
Kouyaté. I think that's probably going to end up one of those lackluster games unless it gets a little chippy. So I'm going to go Palace 2-1.
We're on 2-2.
2-2 draw?
Yeah. I think Palace, they got screwed late against Arsenal.
True.
I don't know. I don't recall what would have happened during stoppage time.
Yeah.
They headed that corner attempt clear after the 4 minutes of additional time had been played. Referee even watched. He looked at his watch and just, no, we're going to keep this shit going.
Yeah.
Almost a minute later.
Southampton Burnley. I'm going to go 1-1 draw on this one. I think this one screams draw to me.
I think that one to me is screaming scoreless draw.
Yeah. Yeah, with the defenses there, I could see that. I'm going to go 1-1. And then the last game of the Saturday, Brighton hosting Man City. I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to pick Brighton to win.
Oh, that's not surprising me at all. We're doing the same thing.
Oh, you're picking Brighton too?
Yeah.
I'm picking Brighton to win, and I think if Man City need a hiccup, I think this is going to be it.
What's your score?
2-1.
Fuck.
Did you have the same thing?
I had it up this whole time.
All right.
We got the same thing.
I'll switch it up then. I'll go.
No. That's just guaranteed. 2-1 Brighton over City. Hit the casino. Call your bookie.
Yeah.
Do whatever you need to do.
Good. Actually, 3 really good games on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then we'll also why not pick El Clasico too in a second.
Madrid.
Yeah. Right. First one off the on the Sunday thing there is Brentford Leicester. Probably gonna be a pretty good game. I'd say.
I want to go with the Bees on that one.
You're gonna go with them? Score?
Yeah. They 1-0.
1-0 Brentford.
1-0.
I'm gonna go Leicester 2-0. No, I'm gonna go Leicester 2-1. I think Brentford will at least get 1.
Bees are buzzing.
They are. It's a tough stadium to play in. You look at Liverpool and Arsenal and Chelsea. Like it's a tough place to go.
I think Leicester, they've come a long way over the years, but they still, again, done a great job of reinvesting player sales. They got a ton from Danny Drinkwater, Ben Chilwell, Riyad Mahrez, just so many quality players out there.
Maguire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the
biggest robbery ever.
But they don't have a whole lot of depth. In the last 2 years, they've been top 4 in the Premier League almost every week.
Yeah,
and then the very last week, they fall out and they go to Europa. And I think they're not built to weather that match load.
Yeah.
And I think Brentford's the type of club that can just wear them down.
Yeah, they're going to wear them down. I think that's going to be one of the better matches. It's a good one to start off with. Another good one, same time actually, West Ham Tottenham. I think that'll be a really, really interesting match. Given West Ham, they won in their Europa League fixture this week, as did Leicester.
Tottenham loses in the Europa Conference League.
Yeah, that was bad.
I think they're third in their group, maybe.
I believe they are. West Ham, I'm picking them. I'm picking them to win. I don't see a team right now that's outside the top 6 other than them that can really compete week in, week out with the top 6 right now.
Moyes' boys are playing.
They're playing really
very well.
So I'm gonna go
for a while.
I'm gonna go West Ham. I'm gonna go. Oh boy, I want to give them 3 goals. I'm gonna go 2-0.
I'm going 2-1.
2-1.
I want a Harry Kane goal for my fantasy team.
You kind of need it considering where you are.
I need it bad.
And then the game of the week, Man United Liverpool. Your score. I'll let you go first.
1-1.
1-1 draw.
Hoping.
Who are your goal scorers? You're gonna say Salah, Ronaldo, aren't you?
Not Ronaldo, but yeah, I was going Salah, and then United. I was gonna say Lindelof on a header in the corner. they're gonna score a goal that they don't
deserve.
They don't deserve it at all.
I'm gonna go 4-1 Liverpool.
Yikes!
I'm gonna go 4-1 Liverpool. I honestly think that this is one of the best teams I've seen Liverpool have in a long time. We beat them last time with our 6th and 7th choice center back. The firepower obviously is there on both sides. Van Dijk is back, so I think this is going to be one of those ones where Liverpool win. Do we have a guest? He's
2 guests.
Two. Who else is there? All right. So we're opening up the Wolf Beer Garden Snacky location. Got a couple guests showing up here. But yeah, I'm gonna go 4-1 Liverpool over United. I just can't see Liverpool losing the game, and I think they're gonna score a lot. So
I missed most of what you said, but
Liverpool United 4-1. 4-1.
I bet it was pretty.
4-1. I'm going 4-1 Liverpool. I think Mo Salah gets a pair.
I don't think you're taking into account Paul Pogba's vegan boots.
We actually did. I did take those into it. Yes, they will be. James Milner will have them in his mouth by the end of the whistle.
What you got down there? Is that American Classic?
That's got to be Italian mix. Italian mix. It's got to be a sub.
Isopos has good subs.
It is pretty good.
Homemade rolls.
I'm a big fan of Isopo's buffalo chicken wrap. If you haven't had it yet, it's fucking phenomenal. So that's that for this week's episode. Longer episode than most. A lot of football to talk about.
Oh, I had a lot to catch up on after a few weeks off.
True. So yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Hopefully Sal will be back for that one as well.
Tales of Vegas.
Yes, he is. Yes, he's in Vegas. So
what happens in Vegas, they say.
It's not with Sal, and he can
doesn't
stay
come
there.
home. And
he can stay there with Sal. So, so we'll catch you guys in the next episode over the bar. Thanks, guys, for listening.